And I believe in a story. Every house has a story.
Every house has a story. It's how the house was built, what was there before the house. I've owned 200-year-old homes, and right now I own a 100-year-old home in Montclair, New Jersey. And even on that, the story was when I bought the house 5 years ago, the original owner's correspondence with the builder and architect was there. So I saw the story. I saw where the paneling in my living room came from. I saw the vendor who put the floors in. I even was able to read the receipts from the original oil burner, actually coal burner, I should say. But everything has a story. And then I traced back for the 5 owners. I'm the 5th owner of the house, on how it was all different. But the neighborhood hasn't changed, because most of the homes in the neighborhood were all built in the 1920s, so it pretty much looks the same. New York City, whether you live in a pre-war, as an agent, my first inclination was, what war are they talking about pre-war? We talk about World War II, but actually what you learn as an agent is the pre-World War I vintage apartment is so different from the 1920s vintage apartment post-World War I. Pre-World War I had very few closets and very few bathrooms. Post-World War I in the 1920s had closets and bathrooms. Post-war 1945, basically the 1950s and 60s vintage, had large closets and more bathrooms and larger windows and central air conditioning. So a good age. So it's, what is the story? It's when you're in an apartment, and always remember, whether it's an apartment or a single family home, someone was the first owner. Someone enjoyed, I mean, in a single family house, did a bride walk down that staircase in a wedding gown before they were leaving the house to get married? Probably, in many instances, not all. Was, family celebrations, individual triumphs take place in a home. And that's what we sell.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, I agree with you. And again, I believe once we were, it was on Long Island, and it was one of the Vanderbilt's properties, and the seller was telling us, in this beautiful, absolutely magnificent, huge dining room, how every year for the last 25 years they had Thanksgiving dinner, and how she saw her children grow up there and her grandkids were born. And it was very touching. And she was telling me those stories and how she would create special recipes every year. And she loved to cook herself. So yes, it's a story. So if I were to buy the house, I would vision myself and my family, though I don't have that many people to invite to that dining room. But I would vision myself to have, to host a Thanksgiving dinner.
Wednesday, I previewed in Beverly, Massachusetts, one of our firm's listings, which I believe it's on the water, and it was stunning. I believe it was a Vanderbilt residence, but it may not have been, but it was from the Gilded Age. And 20,000 square feet, 10 bedrooms on the water. It was stunning. And you can imagine the reasons why the first builder built it to the reasons why someone will buy it today.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And having said that, I just wanted to finish on a very positive, wonderful note. How great it is to meet you and to have that conversation. I'm so impressed with Douglas Elliman senior management and how you are able to build that environment that agents feel proud to be part of your brand and build their brand around it.
Well, part of it is the theory. When I was an agent, my clients were buyers and sellers. There still are clients of the firms that are buyers and sellers. But in my mind, my new clients are all the agents that work under me. I work for them.
Well, thank you, Richard. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I am Lucy Edwards, Director of Client Success at VHT Studios, and Richard Ferrari was my guest. And please go to vht.com/learn to watch all the videos. Have a great day. Cheers.